Hello. One common question that Kate and I get is how to use a PDF in class. I mean, sure, I can just print it out if I'm in person or I can screen share it directly, exactly as it is. But what if I need to change something about it? What if I just don't like the way it's laid out? Or I want to be able to type in it live while my students are telling me answers. Then things get pretty tricky. The purpose of this video is to show you a couple of options for interacting with and editing PDFs so that you can use them to better fit what you want to do in class. All right, let's jump right in. So let's say I came to the resources page on the Yellow website. I've decided to use one of the lessons from the community unit for my beginning class, specifically lesson 3. And even more specifically, in this PDF lesson plan, I want to use this one-page short story about what someone does at their job. So obviously the easiest way to use a PDF is to just use it exactly the way that it is. If I was in person, I would print this out and hand it out. If I was on Zoom, I would just screen share this directly the way it is on the website. I would use this plus sign down here to make it bigger so it fits my screen a little bit more. And then just screen share this and talk about it with my students. We can look at the picture, answer the questions, read the story, and I can use the annotation tool if there's something that I want to point out or a note that I want to take. But let's say that maybe I don't like having to switch windows when I'm on Zoom. I just want this to be in my slides. Maybe I don't like the layout of this. I want to look at just one piece at a time, one question at a time, one paragraph at a time. In these examples, I don't need to change anything about the content. I just want to move it around a little. In that case, I would honestly recommend that you just screenshot this and then paste it into your slides and edit away. So let me show you what that looks like to screenshot. And I will preface this by saying that I am on a Windows computer using the Windows operating system. If you are using a different kind of device, honestly, it's way faster if you just go on YouTube and search how to screenshot Mac so that you can see what the keyboard buttons are. Um, I'm going to show you what it looks like on mine. If I come down here on my toolbar, I have a button that looks like this. There's a picture of scissors in this square. It's the snipping tool. If you don't have this button, you can come over here to the search bar and type in snipping tool, and that'll bring it up. But when I hit that, I get a pop-up. It's a loading. And now I can do screenshots really specifically. So I'm going to come back over here to my PDF. I'm in rectangle mode. There's other modes. My whole screen, just my window. I want to free form draw a shape. I'm usually just in rectangle mode. And I'm going to hit new. And after that loads, now it's going to let me draw exactly what I want. So I'm going to click down right here next to the picture and drag. And when I let go, it takes a screenshot of just that. And then I can tell it that I want it to please copy that to my clipboard. And I can come over here and control paste. There's my picture. Or I can tell it that I want it to save that to my computer. And then I would just name the file that I'm saving. And that's a picture that I have forever. So the snipping tool is awesome. It's got this little pair of scissors on it. If you don't have that, come to your search bar, search for snipping tool. So what I would then do is maybe I want to put picture on one slide for us to talk about, and maybe I want to put the text of just the first paragraph on one slide for us to talk about, and so on and so on. I can cut up this little PDF to be images on my PowerPoint however I want using the snipping tool. Now, this is not text I can edit, it's a picture. But it does let me break it down into little pieces that way and plug it into my PowerPoint wherever I want. Okay, so that screen share strategy works great if all I want to do is kind of move stuff around to do a little bit at a time or to change the sizes. But what if I do actually want to change the content or make the content something my students can interact with? Now we need to actually edit a PDF. So, my main recommendation for this is to see if you can just copy paste if it is text. So let's say this is the story. The story is okay, but I want to edit in some more difficult vocabulary words or some easier vocabulary words. This is a PDF where I can actually just click and drag and highlight the text. And so then I can right click and copy, come over to my slides, control paste that in. And that's text. Now I can edit it. Now, anytime you do this, copy and paste text off of a PDF, you should check it. Because so you need to come in and just look through and make sure that it got all of the letters and the spacing correct. Like, I'm pretty sure the doesn't need to be on the next page, so it probably messed up the space there. Yeah. This has a weird gap, so I'm going to come down here to after fish and delete and then space. There's usually something that's a little bit weird when you copy and paste text from a PDF. But that's one option if the only thing that I want to do is maybe put this into the past tense for my students to practice past tense instead. Um, Now, let's say I want to do a lot of editing, or let's say that I want to give this worksheet to my students digitally for homework and I want them to be able to type on it. What you're going to do that is actually convert this PDF to a Word document. There is a website you can use to do this. It's free and not even sketchy because that's right, it's from Adobe. So I'm going to come over here to my search bar and just Adobe PDF Converter. We'll put the link for this directly into the newsletter. But if you need it in the future, you can just search. And the first thing to come up is going to be adobe.com PDF Converter. Click on that. And the website looks like this. And so what it needs you to do is select a file, and that means you need to have downloaded the file. So I'm going to go back to the Community Lesson 3. This is on the internet. I need it to be on my computer. I'm going to come over here to these three dots, and in this menu, I will click on Download. Give that a moment to load. It's downloading. It's now in the Downloads file on my computer. So I can come over here to the PDF Converter, and where it says Select a File, it's going to pop this open. I'm going to go to Downloads. There's Community Lesson 3, and I'll click Open. So, Community Lesson 3, it's a PDF. It's asking me, what do you want me to convert that to? I'm going to pick Microsoft Word. You could pick to Microsoft PowerPoint, but the dimensions of the page aren't right for that, so it's going to look weird if you choose that. I really recommend that you just go from PDF to DocX because it's in the format of a page. So I'll go ahead and hit Convert. This will take it a second. It'll need to think about it. It's processing the document. And then once it's done, it's going to pop up that your file is ready to download. It's also going to give you a preview over here so that you can see it. But you're going to come over here to download to get it onto your computer. Download. It's downloading. Now this is in my downloads file on my computer. Now, if you have Microsoft Word on your computer, you can open it and go from there, which I do. So I'll go ahead and pop that open on my work computer. Here we go. Enable editing. Ooh, I have this whole thing. It used to be PDF. Now it's a Word document. I can click around on it. So here's my story again, but now it's text that I can edit. And if I sent this to my students in an email, for example, they can also edit it. So I could tell them for homework, you need to complete this box. Or for homework, you need to answer these questions. And they could do that by typing, save it, and send it back to me. So now this is an interactable document. Great. I can save my changes by clicking up there. Now, if you do not have Microsoft Word on your computer, do not despair. This is still really helpful and something that you can use. I'm going to open up my files on my computer. I'm going to open up my files on my computer, go to Downloads, Community Lesson 3, there's my Word document. And I'm going to put this into Google Drive so that I can use it as a Google Doc. So here is my Google Drive. I will take this community lesson and just click and drag it. Let that load a little bit. And here it is, Community Lesson 3 with a big W because it's a Word file. If I double click on that, it'll open up in Google Docs. It has to think about it a little bit. And then I can use this. Now, if you're looking at this document with me right now, you can see that some things got a little weird. This document has now gone from a PDF to a Word document to a Google document. That's a lot of opportunities for a computer to make a mistake. So you always want to do this before class so that you have time to check it and fix it if anything got messed up. So let's scroll down to where our story is, just so we can check it and see if anything got weird. This looks okay. This looks okay. The table got moved down to a new page because the spacing got changed a little bit. So I'll just come in here and make a little bit more room for it. And that was just me, backspacing some empty spaces and to make a little bit more room for it. I'll double check page 2. That all looks good. And so does that. So just whatever page it is that you want to use with your students, double check it before you send it to them once you get to this point, because there's been a lot of document converting going on. Alrighty, so I showed you 3 ways to work with PDFs in class. One, just screen share it exactly the way that it is. Use the snipping tool to take little screenshots if you want to add things into your presentation slides without doing a whole lot of editing. And I showed you a PDF converter that you can use if there is a lot of editing that you want to do to a PDF. These are just a few options. Play around with them, see what works for you, and if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out and we can come up with some other ideas. Thanks!